And welcome to another edition of the WDWpov live stream show. Woo! Marcus is excited tonight, can you tell? He's waking up. He just woke up. What? And we have a lot of people in the background.
No, we don't. We have like one more person than usual.
Hearing people talking in the background, which is always good and distracting for the show. But anyway, welcome to the show. Sorry we're starting off a little bit late. We had a couple of weird technical difficulties. Marcus is still waking up, as you can see. And got a few people who've joined so far, and I'm sure there'll be a few more coming shortly. I know T9 said she is driving right now, and she'll be joining us in just a little while. But it is December 2nd, 2019. The December 2nd, 2019 edition of the WDWpov live stream show. How is everyone out there tonight? I know you're doing well. You're going to screw this up, aren't you? He's messing up the picture. He's like moving everything around up here. He's probably going to cause the whole stream to just shut down. Are you having fun?
Actually, that's not a bad setup right there.
You like that setup? Okay.
We can see how many people are watching. We can do whatever this is.
Well, you don't want to do that. That's the title. In fact, we probably could just close that out. I don't think it'll cause a problem. But let's try. Let's see what happens.
It's gone.
You just closed the dockable window. If you'd like to show it again. Okay, so yeah, you can go ahead and close that out. We'll see what happens. Well, you could have kept that there. Unless you want to narrow it down a little bit. You could narrow it. He's screwing everything up on our screen, guys. He has no idea what he's doing.
Neither do you.
But neither do I. But he's doing it anyway. Good, move it up there. Go up.
It won't go in there now.
Go up. See, now you messed it up.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, Jack's here. How's it going?
Good. What does May mean?
What does May mean?
The 5th month.
Stan's here.
Good deal. Hey, Stan. Rick is sort of here, I think. He joined for a moment. I don't know if he's still out there. T9 is on her way. I think I saw... Who else did we see out there? Marcus joined. T9 says she joined. That's weird. Todd's out there. Hey, Todd. Freshly back from a trip to Disney, so, maybe he can give us a few pointers.
There, fixed it.
Okay. So Marcus is now satisfied with the way the screen is set up here on our display. Are you happy now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyway, again, hey Stan, hey Rick. Ooh, Rick actually said
hiya.
Hiya.
Huya.
Hoya.
Huya.
Hiya.
Huya.
I'm not sure. No, please don't. Jack just sort of screeched. I don't know what that was all about. Anyway, welcome to the WDWpov live stream show. And we all know that stands for Walt Disney World Point of View.
No, they don't.
I know they don't, but I got to say it. I've had a couple of really tough weeks. Really tough weeks here. Maybe we'll get into it if somebody's interested. If you're not, then who cares? Go ahead. You can move on to the next screen there if you want. Go ahead. Transition to our next screen. There we go. Welcome to the show. We've got a little bit of a different setup here. We had a couple of weird technical glitches, but I think we're over those. If you're watching right now live, make sure you share the show with your friends. And Marcus says, who cares? He lives with me. He doesn't even care about his own dad. What kind of son are you? And Jack is in the background singing Ducky Momo. Does anyone know what Ducky Momo is from? I know you do. I know I do. But does anyone in the audience know what Ducky Momo is from? We'll see who can answer that first out there. Anyway, I'm a little tired tonight, but welcome to the show. Again, if you're watching live, please share with your friends. This is the WDWpov live stream show. I'll do it this way so I don't block my face as much. And it is December 2nd, 2019. Can you believe we've only got about 23 days until Christmas? And that's the same up in Canada, right, Stan? You guys celebrate Christmas the same day that we do in the States. I'm I'm just giving you a hard time. I know you do. But if you're watching live again, thank you very much. Make sure you throw some chats out there, talk a little bit. If you're watching us, we're on Facebook Live. And we're also on YouTube Live right now. We've got a live stream going simultaneously on Facebook and YouTube. Can you guys hear us okay? And here's Marcus. He's sitting here going like this, so he's shaking our table, which happens to also have our camera up there. So you need to stop doing this, okay? He's in one of his moods tonight, it looks like. Are you in a bad mood? That's all you've got to say. Okay. Again, thanks for watching. If you're watching this as a recording, like some people do from time to time. In fact, I know a couple of people have already messaged us that they can't be with us tonight, which is fine. We all have... No, actually other things. But we all have lives. I've got a life. Sometimes we can't make the show either. And sometimes when we don't make the show, you probably don't even notice the difference. You probably watch a blank screen and you're thinking, hey, it's the WDWpov live stream show. Look at
This is a better show than usual.
Yeah, and much more insightful than our usual show, yes. So, yes, if you would like to watch a blank screen instead of us, you're welcome to do that. But again, if you can't watch while we're doing it live, that's okay. You can always catch us on a replay. Either on Facebook or on YouTube now. So our shows get posted to YouTube as soon as the show's done, just like they get posted to Facebook. Anyway, I am going to do our shout-outs. I see Todd's out there, so I'm going to give him our first shout-out of the night. How's that? Todd, just back from Disney World. I bet you had a lot of fun.
What are you doing watching this for?
Well, he's back. He's back
Still,
now.
but
They were watching it last week while they were. I think they were at the at the Polynesian, and I think Gina had said something about there were people watching the show at the Polynesian. So that's pretty cool. That's neat to know. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Todd and Gina from Disney Adventures Tribe. I can't get that out. Thanks for letting us post our show and share that out there on your group. We also have, now that's Disney. I don't see David out here yet, but what David usually does is he'll jump onto the show 10 minutes into it, 15 minutes into it, after we've done the shout-outs, so that I give him a second shout-out. It's a little sneaky. Then we've got Disney World Florida Fun for Everyone group, Jay and Lane out there. If you're watching, thanks for letting us post out there as well. We also give a quick shout out to the Crazy for Mickey group, who lets us post out there. I'm not even going to mention the WDWpov group that lets us post there in addition to the page, just because they're us. And then we've got Monorail Tales and the Disney Podcast group. Thank you very much. And Monorail Tales, we're actually going to be recording 100th episode, so keep an eye out for that. I know it's supposed to have been released. I think it's going to be coming out soon, so just be on the lookout for that one. So again, welcome to the show. What are we going to talk about tonight?
I don't know.
You don't know? I don't know either. No, actually I'm going to talk a little bit about like this day in Disney history. A lot of days there are some really cool things that happen where you go back in history, and there's a site out there, and I'll show it to you. Give them credit. They post a whole bunch of stuff about things that happen on any particular day in Disney history. And today in particular, pretty lackluster day, I've got to admit. Actually, it's a pretty dull day, but there's a couple of interesting things I think that are of note. So we'll go ahead and show those. One in particular that's a little bit controversial, but we'll let you see if you can make the...
He's your very best friend. Ducky Momo. He's your very best friend. Sorry.
It's actually more entertaining than the actual show.
Yeah, Jack's screaming Ducky Momo in the background. And
Sorry, I was thinking Ducky Momo.
that's okay, Jack. And actually, again, like Marcus just said, it's probably more interesting than anything we're going to talk about tonight. So, as we go into this day in Disney history, we'll talk about that. We're going to get back into some Disney Plus just because I know it's 3 weeks now that they launched it. Does it seem like it's been 3 weeks already? Does it? Can you imagine life before Disney Plus? I mean,
We watched Netflix.
we did? What? Oh, yeah, we used to watch Netflix before Disney Plus. Okay, Stan's saying he doesn't know what he did wrong, but he tried to share the show and started a watch party by mistake. I'll share it again. Yeah,
Maybe
you know.
it's because he's Canadian.
Smack. Every now and then, if you hit that watch party thing, it's pretty cool in a way. It's actually sort of neat to do, but it does some other weird things where you can't really watch the show very well yourself. So it's like, it's a weird trade-off. I don't know why they have it, but it's a little weird. We've had a few people do watch parties. And and the neat thing is when you do a watch party, it actually does open up a different kind of audience comes in and sees it versus, when we just share it to groups. But it's one of those 6 1, half a dozen the other. But anyway, so we're going to talk about some more Disney Plus just because. We're going to talk about The Mandalorian. And again, if you haven't watched The Mandalorian, you're missing out big time. Big time. And then lastly, there was one more thing we were going to talk about. Let's see here. I can't even remember my own topic. Oh, yeah, Rise of the Resistance. We'll just talk about that real quick right now. Is anybody out there going to be at Disney World in the next couple of weeks? Because Rise of the Resistance is scheduled to open December 5th, if I remember correctly. Which is just a few days from now. So that's 3 days from now. Is anybody going to be there for that? If you are, go ahead and make a mention here. And it looks like T9 is now home, so that's good. And she means her own home, not, the Disney home. But
Disney's not home.
Well, it is in a way. It is for people who really love Disney. Unlike you.
I know more stuff about Disney than you do.
Like what?
I can't think of it offhand, but if I'm asked a specific thing,
okay. Well,
I can name it.
We may have to have a throwdown challenge then someday.
I know I will.
Well, we might have maybe we'll have our audience ask questions of us and see which one of us can answer quicker. Not tonight, but maybe we'll throw that out there. Anyone might, if anyone's interested in that.
Maybe we should just do that as the show instead.
Okay, Stan's asking Becky if she's still in the chat because he thinks she might be there for the opening. I think I do remember her posting something might have been on your Grand Circle Tour group page thingy. I thought I remembered seeing somebody there posting about being there maybe the night before, hoping that it might have a soft opening and then fighting the crowds the next morning, which is going to be absolutely insane, I'm sure. Annette from the Jersey Shore is out there. Annette from the Jersey Shore, thank you for watching. Very wet Jersey Shore. Well, there's always water at the Jersey Shore, right?
It's a shore.
It's a shore. I mean, how if you had a dry shore,
it wouldn't be a shore.
Be pretty boring.
It wouldn't even be a shore.
That's right. What would it be? A desert.
Nah, if it rained still.
It can rain.
It just wouldn't be able to trap water very well.
It can rain in the desert, but yeah, a dry shore wouldn't be very fun at all.
That's an oxymoron, basically.
It is. You better think about that, Annette. You want your shore to be wet. I'm sorry. Rain, snow, sleet. Now that's bad. We don't like rain, snow, sleet all at the same time. But we do get it. We had a little bit of weird weather yesterday.
Canada
it actually
will be there.
Oh yeah, it's John Sakari. He's there for everything. Him and Lou will probably be there.
There's a large group of people who are hoping it does not open early.
No, I'm sure.
Why?
Because they want to be the first ones, to be there for they'll be there for the official opening. But yes, Annette, we are doing well. I've had better weeks, let's say, over the past 3 or 4 weeks. But, we're all alive. We're still breathing, and that's always a plus.
That would feel terrible.
What's that?
You wait all that time. You say you're going to go on opening day, and then a bunch of people get to go on it early.
Yeah. No, they do. They do have, soft openings. We got to go. This is before your time, but we got to go on Expedition Everest before it officially opened, which was really cool.
I mean, just imagine camping out somewhere for weeks to get something.
Well, we did get to go on, we got to do that Pandora tour, annual pass thing before it officially opened. We got to ride those rides before they officially opened. But,
Because they are running the challenge.
Oh, yeah. Okay, T9 is saying for the, Give Kids the World challenge, ride all the rides challenge, they're hoping it doesn't open a day early because then they might have to ride one more ride, which would be insanely crazy to have to try and ride because it's going to be insanely long lines to get on it.
Prize for getting on
Rise
of the Resistance.
Yeah, they should
give opening day.
That's right.
$10,000.
I was going to say, T9. That's what Give Kids the World. Or they should have a bonus if you do get to do Rise of the Resistance if it's open a day early. Something that'll make up for not riding basically anything else. But it'd be nice. Give a bonus for that one. Let's see. Yeah. So where were we? Okay. So Rise of the Resistance. If anybody's out there, if they are going to be on it that day, if you get a chance, post some things about it or post yourself while you're in line waiting to get on the ride. That'd be pretty cool. It looks like it's going to be absolutely a crazy, fantastic ride. I'm in a little bit of a funk, though, because we were supposed to be getting to Disney on December 15th, 14th, 15th. That's not happening because of some things happening otherwise on the job front where, let's just say, pay has been reduced somewhat, and so we had to change our plans and cancel the trip and all kind of other not so fun things. So I'm a little bit, but so what's going on? Let's catch up on some messages here. What's Annette saying? Let's see. Hubby and I were at the opening of Sunset Boulevard strictly by accident, and were among the first to walk on there. Okay. We were at the ribbon cutting ceremony. That would be neat to do. And T9 is saying, can I put you down for that, Jeff? Put me down for doing Rise of the Resistance? Sure, yeah, go ahead. And that says she'll be at Walt Disney World from the 10th to the 20th. We would have been there the same time. We were going to be there from the 15th to, I think, 14th through the 20th, roughly. Man, that would have been, I'm sorry. And that would have been cool. We could have met up. I feel like we should just drive down there anyway. Maybe not do the parks, but just drive down there and we'll do the resorts. How's that? Which is fun in itself. If you ever do the resorts around Christmas time, it's very nice, very pretty decorations and everything. Stan. Yeah, it was a bit of a disappointment. But anyway.
Yeah,
$10,000 bonus. Good idea, T9. Go ahead, propose that, and if they open it a day early, that would be a very nice prize of money for Give Kids the World. Anyway. So, enough of that. Enough of Rise of the Resistance. Sounds great. Wish I could be there. I was hoping to get some good video. It's not going to happen. But if anybody out there watching, if you get a chance, take some pictures, and let us know what it's like. Sounds like it's going to be fantastic. Okay, so what were the other things we were going to talk about? Let's look at my list here. So we've got Disney Plus, The Mandalorian, Rise of the Resistance we did, and then Today in Disney History, which we'll talk about that a little bit more. Like I said, there's a little bit of a controversial thing in the list of Today in Disney History, this day in Disney history. We'll see if you can make the connection. I haven't told you about it yet. I'm sure somebody in our audience will make the connection, though, once we read one of the This Day in Disney History items. Okay, so why are we frozen there? Are we frozen? Our PC over here is showing us like just sort of frozen in time. So are you guys still? There we go. It's starting to chop back. I may have to shut down our thing upstairs. Okay, it looks like it's coming back. If we get choppy, let me know. Okay. Yeah, T9, I really, 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 really wish I could pledge that. Not going to happen. Not this year, unfortunately. Anyway, Stan saying Lewis. I wonder if Lewis is out there. I don't see him listed here, but he might be out there. Okay, Stan says we're not frozen, only outside. Yeah, that's good. Okay, let's go talk a little bit about The Mandalorian. How's that? Want to go with Mandalorian?
I thought you were going to do This Day in Disney History.
We will. We got to hang on to that one though a little bit because I want to hold that controversial thing till we get done with a couple other things here. So,
well, what's not controversial about The Mandalorian?
What do you mean? What's not controversial? What do you mean? What is controversial about The Mandalorian?
The whole stupid thing about someone trying to get the show canceled because there were no female characters in it. This most recent episode, certainly.
Yeah, the most recent episode had several, female lead characters in it. It was a good show. I mean, here's the deal. So far, we've loved every episode of The Mandalorian. Anyone who watched this most recent episode on Friday, I know probably what your favorite scene was, and it was probably my favorite scene. But if anyone watched last week's, Friday's episode, and it was Friday, right? If anybody saw it, and I know Stan, I know you had to have seen it, what was your favorite scene from the most recent episode of The Mandalorian? Yes, and Stan just pointed out female director as well, and Lewis is out there. Hey, Lewis, he's working He's doing plowing snow. Make sure don't text and drive, don't chat and drive. But yeah, he's saying hi. He's probably just going to set the phone off to the side now so he can watch and listen, or just listen maybe because we don't want you getting in an accident, especially plowing snow. That would be a bad thing. But anyway, if anyone saw the last episode of The Mandalorian, I've got a scene in mind. I don't know if you have one, but think about it. Think about it for a second. And like I said, I know Stan's got to have one. He's got to have one. But yeah, so yeah, you're right. That was, I guess, a little bit controversial that they had some people out there complaining that there weren't enough female characters.
There were no female characters, really. One.
Well, let's look at the original Star Wars trilogy. Other than Leia, were there really any female? No. Were there?
No.
Major characters? Probably not. Okay, Stan. Okay, his favorite scene in the last episode of The Mandalorian. He said his favorite was a still shot. Was the wide shot with the AT-ST looking over the village. And that was a pretty cool thing.
I was hoping for an AT-AT to pop up so they could pronounce that properly.
We're going to do that again. Yoda drinking milk.
That was not milk. Fight. That was broth soup.
Yeah, bone broth, right?
Yeah.
Bone broth.
Bone broth soup.
Bone broth soup.
Get your facts straight. He clearly orders bone broth soup.
Okay,
no milk.
I had a favorite scene. Mine was toward the beginning of the show. So you've got the Mandalorian, you've got little Baby Yoda, and I know we call him Baby Yoda just because we don't know what else to call him.
I hope they finally give him an actual name.
At some point, they might. I mean, maybe that'll answer all our questions about what race is Yoda and the other characters like him. But, okay, so toward the beginning of the show, you got little Baby Yoda pressing buttons and hitting little lights and things, and the Mandalorian, trying to pick them up, put them, don't touch that. Don't touch that. And then He says he sets him down. He says, "Stay right here and don't touch anything." Next scene, you see it cut over to he's standing at the door as it's moving down, and you got little Baby Yoda just standing right next to him. It's like how did he even get there? I mean, he was just like, he's in the cockpit, and then he just showed up.
There's a ladder there.
Here's what I'm thinking. Maybe Baby Yoda. I mean, we know he has some force power because he did in that one episode in particular with that sort of rhino-looking beast. And he did the little, thing like that. But I'm betting, because he's got those little feet, takes him a while to walk. For him to have gotten from the cockpit and then just jump almost instantaneously over to where the Mandalorian was at the doorway, I'm thinking he probably has levitation powers.
Well, if you have the Force, you
exactly.
Have
so why
powers.
not? So he probably
limited.
He probably just raised himself and just floated right over there without making any noise. Plopped himself right next to the Mandalorian. What do you think? That's my theory, and I'm sticking with it.
It was just a comedic scene.
It was. It was funny. It was a good scene. Stan saying Yoda pushing the buttons. Yeah, that was my scene there. I like that one. He's hitting all the little light switches and things like that. And just don't touch that. Don't touch that. Just like a little baby, little kid, being inquisitive, curious. Okay, you've had some time. Do you have a favorite? Oh, come on. You got to have something.
Any scene with the baby? Really?
Scene with the baby. Yeah, except the scene, when they were going to, shoot him in the head. That was a little bit odd. I mean, not odd, but I wouldn't call that a cute scene.
Don't touch that.
That was good. Anyway, like I said, you've got to see that show. If you haven't been watching it, you can get through them quickly. I mean, they blow right through. I mean, it's just like we start watching it, and I feel like by the time that it's over, it leaves you wanting more. It's like, it's not like it's dragging on or anything. It goes by very quickly because it's fun. It's fun to watch. Stan's saying you can see Mando roll his eyes behind his helmet when he says, "Oh, I didn't notice that. I'm going to have to go back and watch that now."
No, I think he's just saying.
I know. Oh, see, look at that, Stan. Right over my head. He gets it. Right over my head. See, when you read stuff, it's like you almost take it literally. It's hard to interpret it with the sarcastic tone that was meant. But he picked it up. Thank you for that. Thanks for that. Anthony's out there watching.
Yeah.
Anthony, nice to see you out there.
Okay, my problem with it
What's that?
Is the people complaining about female characters not being in it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need female characters. You don't need social justice stuff in anything being shoved in your face. What you need is for the story to be good.
It's a good story, yeah.
Which, just having a checklist, okay, we have this, we need to get this, this, and this, does not make for a good story. That just makes everything bogged down so that you have to meet all the criteria on a checklist. Otherwise, your show's going to get canceled.
But in this last episode...
Yes, we happen to have a female character.
And
she fit the story.
And she was very good. Yeah, it was a very good character. I'm sure we're going to see her again. Did you see what we just did?
What?
We both started scratching our right shoulder at exactly the same time. That's weird. It's like we're joined at the hip or something here. But anyway, as long as it's got a good story, I don't care who's in it. Just make it a good story.
We don't even need the characters to have names as long as the show is good.
And it is. It's a good show. So far I've been very happy.
I have spoken.
I have spoken. Yes, I have spoken. Yes, you have spoken. Let's see. Oh, hold on a second. We got a few comments that we're
we really don't have that
backing
many.
Up on here. There's a few. Let's see. T9 is saying, I wish Baby Yoda had a name, and I wish the Mandalorian had a name. Well, we call him what's his name?
What?
Mando. But what's
Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers. Yes, Carl Weathers.
That's just the character's name. We decided to roll with that.
We don't even know what the character's name is in the show. We just call he's Carl Weathers. He's a great guy. We love Carl Weathers. What's that from?
Combat Carl?
Oh, Combat Carl. Yeah, Carl Weathers played Combat Carl's voice in Toy Story, 3 and 4? I believe.
Actually,
Was he in 2?
he was
or
not
just-
in 3.
He was in 4, though, for sure.
His first appearance was Toy Story of Terror.
That's right. That's okay. That's what I was thinking.
Combat Carl first appeared in the first movie, but
he
that
didn't.
was just a random action figure in the Combat Carl series.
Right. Yeah. Carl Weathers wasn't the voice of Combat Carl at that point.
There was no voice for Combat Carl
That's right.
at that point. It was just a random Combat Carl action figure. Mm-hmm. It wasn't Combat Carl. It was just a random one of the series.
And then Stan saying, I think Yoda walking is a bit of movie magic. There's no way you could keep up with Mando walking time.
Well, maybe he picked him up.
And it's funny, too, because they would show a scene with them walking and Baby Yoda sort of falling behind. And then they'd cut to another scene where they're a little further along and he's still there. And then he starts to fall back again. I think it's because he's levitating. Every now and then, off camera, he levitates and floats back up to catch up without the Mandalorian seeing him. That's what's happening. That's in my mind, that's what's happening. Anthony says he's sorry he's late, but that's okay, Anthony. Again, you never miss anything much when you're watching this show. And you can always watch it again if you want toward the beginning. And that agrees with you, though, by the way, about good story, which I think is a good point. If you have a good story, you don't have to pigeonhole a bunch of, like you said, check mark, check. Did we have this kind of character? We have this kind of character.
We have 5 female characters. We have our gay character. We have our African-American character. We have another random character that is of a different ethnicity. Okay, we don't need that.
Can't we just be people?
Yeah.
Can't we all just be people?
See, you make a big deal about wanting equality, then you also make a big deal about wanting all this representation and everything. If it was real equality, you wouldn't care.
You wouldn't care. And that's the way I like it. Just whatever characters there are doesn't matter.
If you want exactly that, you make exactly that. You don't tell everyone else to make exactly what you want.
Race, creed, color, sexual orientation, whatever. If it's a good story, that's all I care about. So, just keep that in mind. I hope they don't, like you said, go off on some weird tangent and make sure they pigeonhole a bunch of things. So far, it's been good. Like you said, there were some, I guess, complaints about not enough female characters, and boom, here's, before that
we were only 3 episodes in.
I know. And they had a couple of cool characters, female characters in it, and like Stan said, also the director was female. And it was a good episode. I liked it. So, Stan is, what else? Stan says, I like how they got to the village and everyone runs Baby Yoda, and Amanda says they are happy to see us. No one is paying them any attention. You getting that one? I'm not sure I understand that one.
I don't know. It's worded very weirdly.
I'm losing that one. See, that's what I mean. Sometimes when we read it while we're trying to do the show and reading at the same time, it doesn't always come out the way I expect it to. And we need to. I know some of these apps, they have things where you can post comments right up there. I know the one you're using, Stan, you and Dave, on your Saturday night shows that you do, that one allows you to pop comments up there. I don't know if it pops it up there automatically or you guys are popping up there. I think you guys do that. But I'm going to have to check this one because I'm pretty certain there is an option to do that with this here. We just don't have it enabled. We'll figure it out, though. We're pretty smart.
Oh, I'd also like to point out that all the pirates look exactly the same.
Yes, they did.
Like, not just in this show, but compared to the pirates in Star Wars: The Clone Wars, they look exactly the same. Is it just this one race of alien people are all pirates?
And I think I missed it out here, but I thought, yeah, there it was. Gina popped on there. I don't know if she's still watching, but if you are, hi, Gina. Always nice to have you on the show. And here I am, I'm like almost ready to burp, but I'm holding it in because I am a professional. We don't burp. He's trying to mute it and then make me burp, and then he's going to unmute it just as I'm getting ready to do it.
It's a free app that we use. David has control of what gets popped
That's
up.
what I thought. Yeah, and I can't remember the name of it. I know I've seen it before. It's been in use for about a year or so. I've thought about using it. I don't know if I can use it in combination with OBS Studio. I've got OBS, and then I've got Facebook, and I've got Restream, which is what lets us stream to both Facebook and YouTube at the same time. And also, technically, we could restream to like 5 or so different social media things. We could do Periscope. We could do, we could do Periscope. We could do what some of the other ones that are. What is it? Twitch, I think, is another one.
Yeah, Twitch is like the main streaming thing.
Yeah. So we'll see if we could add. I don't know if we could bolt that on or not, but we'll see if we can do that. So we can pop comments up, because I'd like to pop your comments up.
Do you know
so
how much people make on Twitch?
What's that?
Do you know how much money people make on Twitch?
How much?
Enough that it's a more viable option for them than doing YouTube videos.
Well, by golly, then we're going to go on Twitch. We're going to make millions of dollars. Millions.
Still spend the time to edit
and then
those.
we'll be able to go to Disney again more often and film things and record things and put it on here. What do you think? Sounds like a plan?
Capital idea, my dear boy.
Okay, so Mandalorian, haven't watched it, watch it. Trust us, you will love it. Anything else you want to talk about The Mandalorian? Last episode?
No.
Anything in particular?
No.
Okay.
No.
Disney Plus, we're still binge watching things. They've been binge watching Even Stevens. I've been catching a number of those episodes in between work and other things I'm doing at home. What else have you guys been watching a lot of? Mostly Even Stevens for some reason.
Because that's the only thing she won't complain about.
Yeah, that's my daughter. My daughter wants to watch Even Stevens. My other daughter too. I have an adopted daughter sitting in here too. Not by last name, but Michaela stops in every now and then, and she's like another daughter, along with a few other nice girls that my daughter knows. And yeah. Yeah. Should I make that announcement?
We've been sitting here talking. Anyone in Ohio, sure.
Anyone in Ohio, Northeast Ohio, close to the Youngstown
We're
area.
looking for eligible bachelors.
We're looking for eligible bachelors, probably in their mid to upper 20s. Is that good? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Mid to upper 20s.
2 of them.
Got some nice looking girls here, so. The women, we want to marry off the women. Yes, we're doing this on live YouTube, and
There's probably something in Facebook bylaws that say something against this.
Yeah. I think trying to get people. It's like a dating service. You probably can't do that online, at least not live like this. So, anyway, let's just pretend we didn't say that. Okay.
Oh, and make sure everyone attends Mr. Spell's seminar on what to do if part of you gets chewed or swallowed. Okay?
Oh, man. Stan is also saying what he likes about the app that they use is that they have 2 people on from different Facebook pages. That's how we're both on. And in fact, even with just regular Facebook Live, there is an option. I've used it a couple of times while we were at Disney live streaming, where I was streaming and then I added my wife in. And she was actually in another part of the park, and we were both on, and we had the split screen, and you can even add more people, like other people who are part of the group that you're sharing or part of the page that you're sharing from. If they are members of that page or group, you can actually add more people in. You can request them to join, and they just click, and they're there. What? Let's see. T9 is saying, I thought maybe Melissa had an evil twin like Candace does. Catherine does things Candace would never do. Catherine, interesting.
Why is it in quotes?
I'm thinking Catherine is just this evil persona of Candace. So if something bad happens that Candace did, it's Catherine that really did it. Is that am I right there, Tina? That's what it sounds like. Anyway, so Stan's saying, "Hey, but do you know what Disney? Do you know what Disney all got with Lucasfilm deal?"
The Young Indie
Yeah,
series.
the Young Indie series on Disney Plus. That
I don't know.
would
Do you
be
think we could
interesting.
see the original version of Episode 4 on Disney Plus at any point?
Nah, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. I'm sure it's not going to happen. But that would be cool. Original
Theatrical version.
Episode 4 Star Wars.
We don't want 10 versions of Episode 4. We want one where Han shoots first.
Han shoots first.
Also, how are we supposed to watch the
Can't change that.
How are we supposed to watch the version with the actual models of stuff instead of crappy computer generated?
Okay, I'll give you this. I actually didn't mind the computer generated, especially the final battle scene over the Death Star, with the computer.
When it's really
CGI.
bad was Star Trek.
It wasn't horribly done. It wasn't over CGI'd, but and that got
Episode 1 was over CGI.
Oh, Episode 1 was
and 2.
Oof.
No, 2.
There
2
were
was
certain scenes
the
in
pit.
Episode 1 that I thought looked very cartoonish because they were so over CGI'd.
Candace is evil.
Yeah,
twin.
yeah, and
They
Stan,
look exactly
yeah,
alike.
and Stan, absolutely. Han shot first, Han shot last because no one else shot. He shot, and
They kept saying
That's it.
the other guy shot first, but I could have sworn it was the other guy.
other guy. Yeah, Stan, I absolutely agree. I mean, Han shot, boom, end of story. Right? You can't change that scene. Oh, and then
You can like 10 times.
And then the scene.
Wait, not original theatrical version. The one where they put Jabba the Hutt.
That's what I was just getting to.
They changed that at least 3 times.
That Jabba the Hutt scene.
They changed it 3 times.
Was unnecessary, and that's why it wasn't in the original film, because it was unnecessary. Did you notice the script was basically just a repeat of what was just talked about in the cantina?
But he actually convinces Jabba the Hutt to let him go.
Yeah, it didn't make
Instead
any
of
sense.
just escaping from Greedo.
Right. It didn't make sense. And then the fact that they played with the scene so, because the original scene was shot with an actual person and not...
and they
not
put Boba Fett in there CGI too.
Yeah, not the slug Jabba the Hutt. And they had him step over his tail.
Onto his tail.
Onto his tail.
They changed that scene 3 times.
That was bad.
No, they changed that scene 3 times. Bad. Each one, Jabba the Hutt looked better.
Yeah. It's bad, though. Anyway, so T9 is saying, Candace's evil twin, they look exactly alike. Can't tell them apart, except for their actions. Right? Okay, so we talked about... The Mandalorian. We talked about Rise of the Resistance. We talked a little bit about Disney Plus. Anyone else out there? Are you guys all still watching Disney Plus like crazy, like we are? It does seem almost like having kids. You wouldn't know this, but when you have kids, you look back on your life and you're sitting there going, "Boy, I don't even remember what marriage was like before having kids. I don't remember what life was like before having kids." I'm starting to forget what life was like before Disney Plus. That's pretty much true.
Yeah, you forgot about The Office entirely.
I know, The Office. It's like, what's The Office? You say enough Office lines every day. We're never going to completely forget about The Office. But Disney Plus, we're still loving it. We're finding out more things to binge watch. We've been binge watching. Gravity Falls, which I think it's an underrated show. It only ran for 2, maybe 3 seasons?
2.
2 seasons.
But they only needed 2 seasons to get all the story in there.
They wrap it up. I mean,
and he moved on to bigger and better things, which his new show now has 4 seasons.
Oh, okay.
The one that I was telling you about the other night.
So are we going to get into that one after?
No, that's not on Disney.
Oh, okay.
It's on something called Adult Swim.
Oh. Okay. Sorry, Disney. It's not. You don't have it, but someday you probably will own it. I'm sure of it.
They might already. I'm not sure.
They might.
But I was telling you about it the other night because he references Gravity Falls in it.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, Stan says he's rewatching all of the old Rebel shows. I got to do that. I've got to do that.
No. No.
What are the old Rebel shows?
I need to have the remote. You know, we need to have a division.
We'll watch it after
why
you.
don't you ask?
Patty's in the background getting upset.
What are the old Rebels shows?
Why don't you ask how they decide? Ask our audience how they decide who gets the remote for the evening.
My wife would like to ask the audience how you guys decide who gets the remote for the evening to watch Disney Plus, and maybe some other shows, but mainly Disney Plus.
The mouse will on everything.
What's that?
The mouse will on everything.
Mouse will. Yes. Disney is just gobbles up one thing after another.
Noelle was really fun as well.
You know what? That one I watched. I was, I think, about 3/4 of the way through, and I ended up, not because I didn't like it, but I was really tired that night, and it was late. I fell asleep, so I have to rewatch the ending.
They knew it was going to flop in theaters, so they just put it on Disney Plus.
Yeah, wasn't that supposed to be a theatrical
Mm-hmm.
release, and they held it back and then released it on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's, yeah. I mean, I don't know that I guess I'm glad I probably didn't pay money to see it directly at a theater. But yeah, it was a good flick, and they had some good characters in it.
I'd say it's a poor man's version of Elf in some ways.
Poor man's version of Elf. Okay. Good
Even
way
though
to put it.
Disney did it.
And that says hi, Patty.
Hi. Well, did she answer my question?
T9 says we have 6 televisions in a 2-person home. If we don't agree, we just go to another room.
They don't have Phil from the future.
And let's see. And that's saying hubby and I usually watch together on main TV. Daughter watches on her laptop, and she loved Noelle too. So there you go. Travel fun. Howdy. I think you might be new to the show. Hello. How are you doing? I'm watching you in Guatemala. Holy mackerel. We got a Guatemala viewer tonight. Look at that. I think you are our most distant viewer of the night. So excellent.
No, they do. Just found it.
What's
Phil
that?
from the future.
What, Phil from the future? Okay, good. So we now have confirmed evidence
It
that
would
Phil
flop
from the
in the
future.
theaters because it would be up against Frozen 2 and Star Wars.
Yes.
But it was a holiday movie.
Yes.
So not Frozen 2 or Star Wars.
But Frozen 2 just came out within the last week or so.
Yeah, but they probably would have released it closer to Christmas. Also,
No.
it would have been a movie.
But it would have been released in this general time frame, and Frozen 2 would still be like overshadowing it, and Star Wars would completely overshadow it toward the middle of
Yeah,
December.
but you don't want to take your,
Yeah.
5-year-old to see Star Wars?
Probably not. Although
Not anymore.
A lot of people will, but yeah, I mean, it's,
That's my problem with people nowadays.
this is one of his problems with people. This is
Yeah,
only
no.
his only
we were
problem
going to
with people.
see The Jungle Book for a second time in theaters.
Yeah.
And there were 2 people taking what looked like 5 to 7-year-olds to see Captain America: Civil War, and I was stuck seeing The Jungle Book for a second time.
Sorry about that. That wasn't.
I don't think it was strong enough for theaters.
Yeah, and I agree. Yeah, I don't think it was strong enough for theaters either. But it was a good, cute show. And like I said, I missed the last probably 20 minutes, half hour of it.
Only 2,000 children
So
are
I got to
actually on the nice
rewatch
list.
it. I got to rewatch. What's that?
Only 2,000 children are actually on the nice list.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, and what's his name? The character who played. What was he? He was like a nephew or something. Yeah, cousin, or twice removed. Who knows?
Fa la la.
I like that guy. He's funny.
Everything will be delivered through Amazon.
Yeah.
Through drone or Amazon.
That was good.
Not even delivering the presents. Just delivering it through Amazon.
So T9 is saying we've only watched movies. We haven't even started shows. Yeah, well, I know you're doing...
I can't stand watching the movies at this point because...
Why?
They're all... The only ones we've watched are Disney Channel originals.
Well, then you could watch... Well, no. Okay, our first show that we watched... What was our first show we watched? Steamboat Willie.
Which, I've looked at the Mickey Mouse cartoons again. I think they took some of them off.
Did they?
Since release day.
Wow. That's interesting.
Like, there's one I haven't seen pop up again. I could probably look it up, but
I'll bet it's there. You probably just have to
if it's
search.
not there, that would be very weird that they would put it on there and then take it back off.
We're not getting off on any tangents, are we? No, this is all Disney Plus stuff. So that's good. That's good. So anyway, Patty, so it sounds like we need to get that other TV working.
No, that's not how we do it in our house. No.
She's giving me the finger. She's giving me the finger right now. She's going, no, that's not how we do it in this house. I'm just relaying. Relaying.
You know,
you can
wait,
come over here.
wait. You know, the way you said that
She's
could be
doing the two
misinterpreted.
fingers now.
The way you said that could have been misinterpreted. She's giving me the finger.
He knew that.
No, she's giving this finger, not that finger, and now she's doing the two finger.
That is a
point
very lewd hand gesture.
because she's trying to be more polite, just like Disney cast members. They never point with one finger, always the two finger, or sometimes three.
That's not how we do it in this house. We do not all run to separate TVs.
We like to sit together as a family
And then look at our phones.
and fight over who gets the controller.
And then look at our phones.
Yeah.
And I'm the one that holds the remote, and then everyone fights over me.
Dark Jedi says he likes you. Or she. Dark Jedi,
T-Nine-
you're a guy. You're a guy. I know. That's right.
T9 is
I
going
just wanted to
in
make sure.
chronological order, and Ed is watching Marvel.
What's that? What? I missed it. What? Go ahead.
You read it.
Where are we at? Yeah. No, T9 is doing the chronological thing. We started doing that years ago.
It's only about 3-4.
Well, that's years. I know. That's years. That's multiple years. 3 or 4 years ago we did that. We worked our way up. I think we got into like the 90s, mid to late 90s.
Early 2000s.
Early 2000s. And the 70s and early 80s were... those were hard to get through. Except for a few good shows like...
If you need to find them, look them up on Hoopla.
I knew you were a boy. I don't know why I even asked that. I don't know why. But because I've seen your channel. I remember your picture. You got the lightsabers and stuff.
There's a very major movie we're missing.
What's that?
On Disney Plus currently. And you can find it on something called Hoopla right now. Napoleon and Samantha. Definitely. We talk about that one all the time. Disney we have not
Plus.
watched it in years.
Disney Plus needs to get it.
It will
on
have
there.
every movie Disney has ever released on it.
Liar. That was a big lie, wasn't it? Yeah, no, see, I know Dark Jedi.
We know Baby Yoda.
I just
does
every
not
now and then
really
I have
Yoda's
a brain
boy.
fart. My head just sort of just freezes, and then I'm like, But then as soon as I said that, I was like, I've seen his picture. I know he's a guy. Anyway, Kelly's out there. Kelly's in the house. She says, "Good evening, gents and family. I'm glad I caught the show tonight. Make sure you catch the beginning part once we're done." We talked about some other interesting stuff, but anyway, so Disney Plus. I think we're done. Okay, let's move on to our final topic of the night. Are you ready? And you're going to get to watch a website. You won't see our ugly faces here for a while. So you're going to watch a website that we're going to pull over onto our screen so you can see what we're talking about. So there is a site out there, and it is called, let me pull it up. 1 second, please. Do you want to get that? Go do that. Do it right now while I switch screens here, okay? Nobody will even know you're gone. Look at that, see? They're not even going to know you disappeared in 3, 2, 1. Boom. There we go. Okay, go get that alarm thing. They won't know. Nobody's going to know you got up and left. Just do it. Do it now. 1, 2, 3. Do it. Quick. Hurry. Do it. Okay. So, yeah, see, and T9 is saying, too, there were more than a few of the early movies that were not on Disney+. Stan is saying, I'm actually surprised Marcus is here and isn't watching Kurt Russell on Disney+, or is it playing in the background? Yeah, I'm sure but here's the thing. Was it Sky High? Mm-hmm. Sky High, a very popular Kurt Russell movie, is not on Disney+. It's not going to be there until 2021 or something?
December 1st, 2021.
December?
So 1 year, basically.
Oh, yeah. That's crazy. Wait, 2021?
No, 2020.
2020. Okay, so about a year from now, you'll be able to watch Sky High with Kurt Russell on Disney Plus.
Also, popular being a relative term.
And Kelly's saying that it's home from dialysis early. I hope everything. Well, it sounds like things may be improving. We continue to pray for you guys, Kelly, and glad you're able to join the show here tonight. So let's pop over here. So if you notice, we are on a site. This is called This Day in Disney History.
So far, they announced 52 movies to be released in 2020.
Okay, cool.
New or ones just to be put on? Because it's a little confusing the way it's worded.
They announced 52 movies to be released 2020. I'm guessing there are additional ones. I would imagine there've got to be additional movies. So
no, like are they new movies
No.
specifically for Disney Plus? Because released implies that they'll finally be released for the first time.
We're assuming, Stan, that you're talking both. So it's some new ones, some like maybe Disney originals.
So some of them will be released. Some of them will be just put on there.
Yeah, some will probably be older movies that aren't on Disney Plus.
So they won't be released.
That will be released to Disney Plus.
Well, it's not really releasing it then.
Well, on Disney Plus.
It's not really.
Do I have to jump back here so you can watch us argue? Here we are. Okay, so 52 more movies being released in 2020, as Stan just said, on Disney Plus. So, okay, back over here. This Day in Disney History, a cool site, fun website. We sometimes use it when we're posting things on our Instagram and Facebook and Twitter accounts. We might pick something off of here. But This Day in Disney History is a fun place to go to periodically just to check it out.
Solo's coming out next year. Okay, I watched Solo.
Yeah.
So I don't really care if I get to see it on Disney Plus for a year or so.
Yeah, I liked it. Marcus,
it's not like something I need to watch every year or so.
You didn't dislike it, did you? Okay, but remember,
throwing the Imperial March in there made very little sense to me, but it was still funny.
But remember, last week, if you watched it, and if you didn't watch it, go back and watch it. But you got to hear Marcus actually say he enjoyed Frozen 2. Completely blew my mind.
Oh, and I'd like to say right now that a Phineas and Ferb crossover episode with Star Wars, the Retrieving the Death Star plans story in there was much better than the entirety of Rogue One.
Interesting. Okay, so we're looking through here. You can see some history here. Mickey Mouse's Short Haunted House was released today in 1929, 1933, 1935. We've got some information there. Walt's Nine Old Men. Mark Davis begins work as an apprentice. Things about Mickey Mouse Club
airs on ABC TV.
Woo! So then we've got Wonderful World of Color, Part 1 of the Moon Cussers. That sounds interesting. The Moon Cussers. All right. That Darn Cat. Not one of my favorites, but hey, it's there. Yeah, it was 1965, general release of that. Disney's Flight to the Moon gets a boost when McDonnell Douglas takes over sponsorship. 1967, back at Disneyland. 1968, actress-producer Lucy Liu was born in 1968 in Queens, New York. We've got some other little tidbits here and there. Britney Jean Spears, a member of Disney Channel's all-new Mickey Mouse Club, is born in Macomb, Mississippi. And we all know how much she ran off the rails after her little stint with the Mickey Mouse Club.
Well, I've seen some of this guy doing that role. It's actually pretty funny.
What's that, Charles Boyle?
Mm-hmm.
What doing what?
That's the role he plays.
Okay. Okay. So you like
I haven't seen that show really, but
you've just seen little previews here and there. Okay, but anyway, yeah. So today, like I said, today was not what I would call a banner day in Disney history. There's a lot of little things, not any huge things like sometimes there are, like, hey, it's Mickey's birthday, or hey, such and such opened up at, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea opened at whatever, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. 1984, again, it's just sort of there. 1988, again, okay, not anything completely knock your socks off, but you can read some of that. Here's one that's sort of interesting. 1990, Bob Cummings helped host the grand opening of Disneyland in 1955. Unfortunately, he passes away at the age of 80. So again, not a great day in Disney history. I'm just saying, this day in Disney history, a lot of times there's some really cool things.
1997, the first ever batch of Disney movies to appear on DVD.
Yes, this is a biggie here. Listen to this batch
George
of movies.
of the Jungle,
Woo!
Phenomenon,
Yeah.
Homeward Bound, The Incredible Journey, The Rock, and The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Interesting collage or collection there.
I wouldn't say any of those were really worth it.
Well, you'd probably have some people who would say Nightmare Before Christmas. There's some fans of that. That's sort of like you either like it or hate it type of thing. The Rock was actually a good movie, and that would have been, DreamWorks, I'm assuming, because The Rock wasn't exactly what you'd call,
I like that her husband is off riding Space Mountain while she is giving birth in Disneyland.
Yeah. There was... Yeah.
Somebody just put Even Stevens on.
I can hear it.
What do you think?
Yeah, what do you... Oh, my goodness. Okay, a Hillary Duff thing. That's pretty exciting stuff there. Yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl is released on DVD.
Woo! There's another biggie. Again, like I said, some of this stuff is just sort of Now having somebody born
I think I bought two
at
of those
Disneyland
that year.
is pretty cool. That's an interesting one. Where was that one? What year was that?
For what?
Right there. Stan was making a reference to this one, 1984. You give birth to a baby girl at Disneyland. I mean, that's crazy. That's just insane right there. But we get to one here. We're getting to the controversial one. We're getting there close. We're getting there. Live musical, The Lion King opens, okay, in Hamburg, Germany. There you go. Kelly's saying, thanks so much for the entertainment. Yeah, this is...
Anything with Sean Connery?
Sean Connery and The Rock, that was a good movie. You got to watch The Rock. I don't think you've seen that one. That's a good one. Okay, Disney Channel is launched in Poland with the premiere of The Incredibles. Nice. Chronicles of Narnia in 2008. Prince Caspian.
To be specific.
On DVD.
And Blu-ray.
Not at the theater.
On DVD and Blu-ray.
Not at the theater, but on DVD and Blu-ray. So this is a big day, banner day there.
It originally opened in May 2008.
That I found interesting, that it opened in May 2008, and it didn't come out on DVD and Blu-ray until now, December? I mean, that's something. That's actually sort of crazy. Let's keep going here. So now we've got 50. Grammy.
Well, it took longer time to re-release movies.
But that was only 11 years ago. They had a lot of things that came out on DVD and Blu-ray within like months.
That was one of the things they made a big deal about when Blu-ray was first out.
Okay.
As well as High School Musical.
That's true.
All right. I remember the old Blu-ray way too well.
Yes, you do. 2010, Toy Story is named Best Animated Feature. That's a good one there.
How is that 10 years old already?
I don't know. That's insane right there. 10 years ago. And let's see, there's some other stuff going on here in Petaluma. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Let's see if anybody notices anything slightly
John
controversial.
Lasseter appears on
You just
the Charlie Rose show.
You just latched right onto it, didn't you? Does anyone have any inkling of what's sort of in common with...
It's that horrible Charlie Rose. Isn't he awful?
That's a line from The Office again, by the way, that horrible Charlie Rose. But there's an interesting thing that these two people have in common with each other. Does anyone Anyone?
Were they in cahoots with anyone who might have had an island of their own and then got imprisoned?
No, I
and
don't
then
know about that.
Hung
no.
himself?
No.
Maybe that didn't come out yet.
No. Well, not that I know of.
Exactly, not that we know of.
Not that we know of. But they do have something in common that we do know of. That both have been accused of doing some things that may or may not have been, allegedly might have been a little bit out there that, they probably shouldn't have been doing. So I thought that was an interesting one. I'm surprised you jumped on it. You latched right onto that one. That's good.
He latches onto that.
Marcus picked that one up in a matter of seconds.
Well, I see the name John Lasseter and Charlie Rose in the same sentence.
I saw that. And like I said, the rest of the day, fairly lackluster. Not a whole lot of stuff, Little things here, something being released on DVD, blah, blah, blah. And then
Charlie Rose.
And then John Lasseter appears on the Charlie Rose Show back in 2011. Now, it was interesting. He did make this quote. He said, Peter Docter from Monsters, Inc. and Up is doing a new film that takes place inside of a girl's mind, and it is about her emotions as characters, and that is unlike anything you've ever seen.
Oh, really?
How about Cranium Command at Epcot?
Or any number of one of Walt Disney's old cartoons that he did?
True. He did have some.
He had war cartoons that actually talked about using emotion and actual thought in conjunction to win wars. Wow. He had the emotions as characters controlling a human being at a control panel in their head.
True.
Not new there at all.
No, but according to John Lasseter, it was something completely new.
Well, he was preoccupied with other things, so he...
Him and John Lasseter had some other things to catch up on, I guess, later, so...
It's that horrible Charlie Rose.
Horrible Charlie Rose. Okay. So anyway, that was. I thought that was interesting. I thought you might get a little bit of a kick out of that interesting this day in Disney history. I don't know. So it looks like there's a few other comments there, but I saw stuff jumping up and down there. Might have just been people maybe doing like likes or hearts or something like that, but. Anyway, so yeah, Charlie Rose, John Lasseter. Nobody's saying anything about it. Nobody's saying a word about it. They're just like all dumbfounded, I think, right now. What are you doing? Are you? I think I'm being sexually harassed.
How is that possible? We're in the same family. And if it actually happened, you would be making a much bigger deal out of it.
Unfortunately, you can, but I'm not, that's... Why is that moving? I'm not moving that.
It still hasn't caught up with us.
Oh, it still hasn't caught up. Wow. Looks like the live stream, our recording over here is going much slower.
Maybe they haven't seen the Charlie Rose thing yet.
Yeah, maybe it hasn't gone out yet about the Charlie Rose. Because if it's this delayed, wow. I guess it's like about a minute delayed, it looks like. So maybe we'll just sit here for a while and...
I have no idea who Charlie Rose is.
Let you guys catch up.
No, Stan said, I have no idea who Charlie Rose is.
I never really watched the Charlie Rose show. He was a news guy on PBS, public broadcasting.
I think he was left-leaning, so that was why the old character in The Office didn't like him at the time.
That would make sense.
But that makes the joke even funnier. That's why you told me that was before everything about him came out.
Yeah. No, that's right. That on The Office, it's an older woman who,
with conservative viewpoints.
More than likely, very conservative, was going on about Charlie Rose, that horrible Charlie Rose, because he was on PBS, and Charlie Rose was, somewhat left-leaning on his
Tina says she doesn't talk about sexual harassers. What does that mean?
Good.
Does that mean that there are ones?
I think she's just trying to ignore John Lasseter and Charlie Rose because they both have something in common that I think some people have alluded to now.
Maybe Stan Solo is just doing that too.
Or you might, yeah, I don't know. Was that one of those things over our head type of thing, Stan, or were you legitimately asking who Charlie Rose was? Because again, like I said, I never really watched the guy, but he was on PBS. He was a famous newsman of the day. I don't know why this is so delayed. Look how far back that is.
Was he news, or was he?
It was like the Charlie Rose Hour or something like news hour or news thing. We're still waiting for this to catch up. I don't know why it's so far behind. On our screen here, we're still seeing this thing transmitting the scene where we were showing you the, this day in Disney history screen. I don't know why it's taking so long for it to catch up with us. But I'm looking at our live thing here, and this is definitely caught up. Yeah, this looks normal. Yeah, I can see you sticking your tongue out here. So, you know what? I'm
just done.
Get rid of this. Are you done?
Yeah.
Are you done?
Mm-hmm.
You know what we should do?
I've talked enough about sexual harassers tonight.
Yeah, I think we've had enough about sexual harassment. So, anyway.
Oh, it just caught up to the Charlie Rose.
Yeah, it's very strange the way it's doing that.
No, I didn't get PBS growing up at all, and I never really watched it much to this day.
Yeah, well, other than like Sesame Street and...
Which is still somehow going on.
Which is still going on. Yeah,
that's something that that's something that Sesame Street and The Simpsons have in common. They never end.
Oh man, you're not missing much though. PBS. I mean, well, okay. There was "It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood." Mr. Rogers was on PBS.
I guess.
Yeah. Sesame Street was on PBS.
I guess.
There were a handful of good shows on PBS.
The Elmo era.
The Elmo era. Oof.
Which has been the last 10 years.
Oof. That's harassment right there.
Everything's harassment now.
The purple dinosaur.
Barney.
Oof, that was bad. The Barney years. Anyway, I think I think it's time to wrap things up. What do you think?
It was time to wrap things up.
It's time to wrap things up. Probably about an hour and a half. Yeah, about an hour and 20 minutes ago. Oh, T9 brought up the British murder mystery shows that are on.
That's
on
BBC.
PBS. Yeah, but there's a lot of BBC shows on PBS. Ooh, that reminds me, actually, Monty Python.
We only got 2 channels when I was a kid, and one was in French.
Oui.
I fought in your general direction.
No, but yeah, speaking of that line from Monty Python and the Search for the Holy Grail, the original Monty Python's Flying Circus show aired on PBS. So
you mean the BBC?
It was on BBC, but then after it aired on BBC, a lot of the BBC...
Which I'm surprised. There was some pretty crazy stuff on that show.
Oh, yeah, there still is.
Still is.
Well, I mean, even by today's standards, But yeah, they would air... usually BBC shows that might have been like maybe last season or season before would end up on our PBS stations. And so, yeah, they had Monty Python's Flying Circus, usually, and we would just barely be able to pick it up on like a little black and white TV that we had. Me and my brother would watch it up in one of the rooms, and it would be like all fuzzy and stuff, and we'd be watching Monty Python and Monty Python's
now for something
Flying
completely
Circus.
Different.
And now for something completely different. There you go. So yeah, that was a good show for PBS. You're ready to go, aren't you?
No, I'm just thinking that show.
Yeah, see, they got it on CBC. Stan got that on there.
That show was just so. It ranged from.
You know what?
Very simple child stuff appropriate for children to. What are you watching
What
right
did
now?
they just do? I haven't done this the entire show. I've got to do it at
goodness.
least one time before.
The Red Green Show?
The Red Green Show. Never heard of that one. Every night before going to sleep. Do you remember the Red Green Show?
No.
We don't remember that one, T9. You're going to have to fill us in on that sometime. Anyway, I haven't done this the entire episode. Ready? Gaston.
We were all being thankful
Kill the beast. My wife said they're being thankful. Everyone's thankful that I haven't done this all night. I'm thirsty, though. I haven't done it all night, and I'm really thirsty.
You're whining, too.
I'm not whining.
R2.
No, I'm not.
D2.
R2D2. Anyway, so I think we're going to call it a night. We're glad everybody that was out there hung on with us and watched. Hope you enjoyed the show. See, Catherine says she even watched the Red Green Show. Now I'm going to have to look that up because I don't know what that is.
You're still not going to know.
Why is that? Are you looking it up? My wife's looking it up in the kitchen over here. She said even after looking it up, I'm probably still not going to know what it is. So that's,
We didn't have fancy TVs that got all those extra channels.
yeah, we didn't have a lot of extra fancy TVs when we were
Canadian television.
Yeah, CBC. I knew what that is.
No.
Is that what the Red Green is? The Red Green Show. Okay, we're looking it up right now. The Red Green Show. Yeah, so Stan even saw it. T9 is saying, oh my, your exposure to the arts has been seriously limited.
Imagine a Canadian version of Home Improvement.
Okay.
Had Canadian-born comedian Steve Smith and call him by his not-so-handyman alias Red Green.
Interesting. I wonder if is it still out there somewhere where we could watch it? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe Disney owns it by now. We'll find out. Disney owns almost everything. Let's see. Yeah, T9. Let's see. Yeah, Catherine. I'm sorry you're catching us toward the tail end of our show here. You're gonna have to watch the recorded show after we post it on. You can watch it again either on our Facebook page, channel, Facebook group, WDWpov, or you can watch it on YouTube as well. If you watch on YouTube, make sure, and let me throw my little plug in there for our YouTube channel, WDWpov YouTube channel. We actually, I don't know what happened this last week. We got like about 10 or 15 new subscribers all of a sudden. So it was like, it had been sitting there hovering, and then all of a sudden it jumped up a lot. So we thank all those people that recently subscribed. Hit the little subscribe on our YouTube channel and click the bell thingy, and that way every time something new gets posted or we post some ride videos or different things or walkthroughs, you'll get notified about that as well. Anyway, Catherine, like I said, I'm sorry you're catching us toward the tail end here. Stan's saying if she can't find you, she can at least find you handy. Okay, maybe on VHS. Okay, that's an option. Oh my goodness, I give up. Anyways, Catherine's saying that's okay. She's late to the show. But like I said, you can watch the recording. If you get a chance, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can watch some ride videos that we've got posted on there, as well as the live stream shows that we have out there. And I'm going to try and get some of our old live stream shows posted on there, even our first episode, the lost episodes. I'm going to try and get those on our YouTube channel as well. And then you can look at how bad how much worse our early shows were compared to how bad they are now. Right?
I'm done.
Are we bad? Did we go from bad to worse, or did we go from bad to not quite as bad from our early episodes? What do you think?
I don't know.
He's done. He's tired. Anyway, Tina said she's always late. Period. Wow. I'll let you guys argue that one. But she says T9 is not wrong. She's getting better, though. So we're glad you're getting better, Catherine. Next time, maybe we'll catch you toward the 8 o'clock hour when the show starts, rather than the 9:30 hour when we're almost done. Sometimes we go till 10 o'clock. But tonight, little Marcus here, he's tired. Time to go. So you ready? Ready to finish it off? Okay. Again, subscribe to our stuff, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. And we got a WDWpov.com website, which I haven't done a lot on. So on the count of 3, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Now it's time to say goodbye to all our company. She'll set her timer for next week. MIC. See you real soon. KY. Why? Because we like you. MOUSE. Good night. We'll see you next week. Thanks. Have a magical week.
That's what you were asking for.
What's that?
You were asking for it.
I was asking for what? Oh, my goodness.
Grabbing me by the hair like that.
Good night, everybody.